Today I'm going to show you how to make this chili. It is so delicious. I skipped the jalapeno to make it a little bit more mild for my family, but you are going to love the combination of flavors here. Let's put it together. We start by chopping up our red onion and red pepper. I'm going to use the electric twist and chop to do that. This little product is so amazing. How many of you have already tried it? Is it one of your favorites? Such a great time saver, and it chops veggies and fruits and cookies. I love it. I make egg salad and chicken salad in here. Just pop your onion in there, and it's so fast you want to use the pulse. There we go, done. The post moves up and down as it chops, so you get a really even finish. Take a look at this. The recipe calls for sauteing some bacon. I don't have any bacon ready to cook, so I have some bacon fat and I've got cooked bacon in the freezer, so that's going to be my shortcut today. So I'm just going to take the equivalent of about a tablespoon and a half of bacon fat, and I'm going to go ahead and cook all of the onions and peppers right in there. To take the core out of the pepper quickly, just take your thumb, push that core straight in there. We do have a pepper core if you want to stuff them, but I'm just going to break it open with my hands. It's perfect for what I need today. Just knock out the seeds. I am skipping the jalapeno that it calls for in the recipe today because we prefer a more mild flavor. But if you like it hot, go ahead and add it as your family likes. Now that the peppers and onions have sauteed for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm just going to break it up a little bit with the mix and chop, but it's really easiest to break that up after it's browned a bit. Now here's the bacon. I just pulled it out of the freezer. It's frozen solid, which means I can break up into pieces, and if they're not small enough, I can always take a knife to them as well. So that's your shortcut when something asks you to cook bacon and you don't want to. Use the fat, use your pre-cooked bacon. It will be the same thing. Beef is cooking nicely. Now is a good time to go ahead and break it up with the mix and chop. Here's how I drain the fat. I just take some paper towel on the tongs and stir it up, and it will soak up the fat, and then I can just discard the towel. So you can just keep doing this until you're satisfied with how much fat you've soaked up. We're gonna use a can of fire roasted tomatoes. When you want to take the can off, the top off your can, use your smooth edge can opener with the handle pointing straight towards your body. It makes a smooth edge. So all it does is it squeezes the lid and the can, which breaks the seal. That means no sharp edges, which is why I don't like to use these pull tabs, because then you have a sharp edge. Just rest the pliers on the edge and pull it out just like that, and you'll see here, nothing sharp. So we'll add the fire roasted tomatoes. I've got a whole can of tomato paste. Do you have any secret ingredients you like to put in your chili? You know, every family has their favorites, right? I can't say that we have a favorite. I'm always trying new things. I find that to be fun. But I found this recipe had really great ratings, and so I thought I'd make it with all of you. This is 2 cups of low sodium beef broth. And then I've got a blend of spices here. We have oregano, chili, smoked paprika, some cumin, salt, and pepper. And we'll go ahead and dump all of that in. And then it calls for a tablespoon of garlic. You know, I actually measured it. This is 6 cloves of pressed garlic with the garlic press. So if you think you can eyeball how much garlic it takes to make a tablespoon, you might be surprised that it actually takes more. So whenever a recipe gives me a measurement for garlic, I measure it after I break it up. A tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And that bacon is going to be reserved to add to the top when it's ready to serve. And now beans. Do you do beans or no beans in your chili? This one has 3 different kinds. And I actually cooked all of these in my deluxe multi-cooker and pulled the bags out of the freezer. So I've got a bag of pinto, black beans, and kidney beans. When you're putting these in recipes, you don't even have to really thaw them first. I did put them in my fridge overnight just because I was planning on making this today, but if you're running short on time, you don't have to. And if you don't want to mix them into something and you want to use them like on a salad or something, the trick with beans, when you pull them out of the freezer, put them in a bowl and take your tea kettle with boiling water, pour it over the top, wait about a minute, and they will be perfect. Just like a can of beans, except there's no sodium and less waste. Here's what it looks like. I'll give everything a stir before we cook it. Notice that the insert for our multi-cooker is stainless steel, so that you don't have to worry about anything toxic, no non-stick finishes or anything, and it's easy to clean up. Okay, we're ready to cook. Go ahead and add your lid. I'm gonna turn it to custom, and I'm going to hit the button in to activate the custom feature, reduce the temperature, or the cooking time rather, to 18 minutes, press and hold. That's it. It's going to take a few minutes to come under pressure. When it's done, I'll let it do a natural release for a bit. Everything's ready. Let's go ahead and ladle it up. Look at this. Doesn't that look delicious? So what do you like to put on your chili? We're gonna have some grated cheddar and a little dollop of sour cream. And then a little sprinkle of, I've got parsley, but you could do some cilantro if you wanted to. There we go. Doesn't that look delicious? I hope you'll give this recipe a try.